Okay, let's talk about the CompTIA Security Plus exam. For anyone looking to get into cybersecurity, this is a huge gatekeeper. But a lot of these certs feel like they're just about memorizing a dictionary of acronyms. Is this new SY0-701 exam any different?
It's completely different. That's the main story here. CompTIA has fundamentally changed the game. It's no longer just a test of what you know. It's a simulation of what you can times do asterisk. And if you're not prepared for that, all the memorization in the world won't save you.
Let's break down the new SY0-701 Security Plus exam. It's a 90-minute sprint with 90 questions, and you need a 750 out of 900 to pass, which is actually a pretty tight margin. The biggest takeaway is the shift in weight. Over half the exam now focuses on security operations and threat mitigation, essentially testing if you can handle the day-to-day chaos of a junior security role.
Exactly. And that 28% focus on operations is a huge signal from CompTIA. They've realized that knowing what GDPR stands for is useless if you can't read a SIEM alert or stop a malware outbreak. It shifted from a "what is this exam" to a "how do you fix this exam." The SY0-701 isn't a vocabulary test. It's a job simulation where knowing the definition is only about 12% of the battle, but knowing what to do is everything.
So the bar has definitely been raised toward practical skills. But even if you know the tech, the way you study determines if you'll be part of that 80% first-time pass rate. Let's look at the actual roadmap to getting certified. To get that pass, the data suggests an 8-week structured plan. You start with 2 weeks of light video exposure, move into 3 weeks of deep domain study, and then spend the final fortnight doing timed simulations. The guide is very clear. Unless you're hitting 85% on those practice exams, you aren't ready for the real seat.
That 85% benchmark is crucial. People often see a 75% on a practice test and think, "Hey, I passed!" But the actual exam has a way of throwing curveballs that will eat that 10% buffer for breakfast. If you're scoring in the 70s, you're not almost there. You're in the danger zone. You need that over-preparation to survive exam day nerves. And there's a subtle but vital detail in that roadmap. Reviewing the questions you got times right asterisk.
Wait, why review the right ones? Seems like a waste of time.
Because if you guessed right for the wrong reason, you don't actually know the concept. You just got lucky. True readiness isn't just picking the right answer. It's being able to instantly explain why every other choice is definitively wrong. That's the difference between fragile knowledge and true mastery.
Right, it's about certainty, not luck. But even with all that knowledge, there's one part of the exam that scares people more than anything else: the hands-on performance-based questions. Finally, we have to talk about the PBQs, the simulations like setting firewall rules or analyzing logs. They hit you right at the beginning of the test. The guide suggests a tactical skip. If you can't solve a PBQ in under 5 minutes, flag it, do the multiple choice first, and come back. Also, since there's no penalty for wrong answers, you should never leave a question blank.
I love the tactical skip. I mean, it's a brilliant strategy. These PBQs are designed to be a brain drain at the start of the test. They want you to panic and burn the clock. By doing the multiple choice first, you build momentum, bank easy points, and ensure you don't run out of time at the end. Skipping them isn't admitting defeat. It's a tactical retreat to win the war.
That's interesting. And it ties back to the 8-week plan. You can't just read a book to prepare for these PBQs. You actually need hands-on lab time to understand things like incident response sequencing.
Exactly. Memorizing the steps for incident response is one thing, but on the exam, a question might ask for the first step or the best solution in a given scenario. If you haven't actually configured a firewall or seen what a real log file looks like in a lab, those words feel like trick questions, even though they're just testing real-world logic.
It's all about strategy, balancing the clock with your technical knowledge to cross that 750 point finish line. So, if we were to boil this all down, what are the absolute key takeaways for someone starting this journey?
First, know your numbers. It's a 750 out of 900 target, with 1 minute per question. Pace yourself. Second, focus your study on doing, not just defining. Half the exam is security operations and threat mitigation, so practical skills are king. Third, embrace the 85% rule. Don't even think about booking the exam until you can consistently score 85% or higher on practice tests. And finally, use strategic skipping. Flag the complex PBQs, get the multiple choice questions done, and never, ever leave an answer blank.